Hi folks, this video is going to be a response to a thread that Martin, the Vinyl Scavenger, set up. This is Martin's push to try and get 500 subscribers, which is a crime really, because Martin's been producing high quality videos for the VC for about 11 or 12 years. So he should have hit this milestone years back and be looking to double that or more. Anyway, excellent channel. Please check it out if you haven't already and give him a subscription. Right, Martin's thread is in two parts, the red part and the dead part. The first part, the red part, is he wants us to show 5 albums with red spines. The second part, as indicated by the dead, is 5 albums by artists that are sadly no longer with us. For that second part, I've chosen to concentrate on artists that passed away in this year, in 2025. So let's get on with it. These are my 5 red spined albums. First up, we have Red Octopus by Jefferson Starship. Now, Starship obviously came out of Airplane, Jefferson Airplane, did 3 excellent albums initially, this being the second in 1975, before they tailed off and eventually hit the nadir that was We Built This City. Next up, we have The Muffins with their second album, 185, from 1981. The Muffins were one of the best sort of progressive bands to come out of the USA, very much in the RIO, Rock in Opposition, and Canterbury style of prog. As I said, this was the second of their albums. They broke up after this album, but then reunited for a few more albums in the 90s. But a wonderful band. And one of their main guys, Dave Newhouse, is still producing superb music to this day in various projects of his. Next up, with the red spine, we have Akira Symphonic Suite by Gaino Yamashiragumi, who are a collective out of obviously Japan, and this is their soundtrack to the 1988 anime film Akira, which I haven't seen in years. This draws heavily on Japanese Noh music, Buddhist chants, and gamelan music. Really excellent. Stands up on its own. The fourth album is Brainkeepers by Mott the Hoople. This is their 4th album from 1971. And I think this came just before Bowie got involved with the band and you got all the young dudes. But this was the only album of theirs not to chart, so I understand. I could have shown this in the next section, as Mick Ralphs, I think that's it, was in the band at the time, who sadly passed away this year. In fact, the only time I ever saw I never saw Mott the Hoople live, but I saw Ian Hunter, and Mick Ralphs was playing with Hunter at the time when I saw them. Fifth and final album of the first section with the red spine is Sly and the Family Stone with Live at the Fillmore East. This was recorded in October 1968. It was originally meant to be released at the time, but didn't come out until, I think, 2015. Sadly, this is another musician I could have shown, as Sly Stone passed away this year too. Moving on to the second part of Martin's thread, the musicians who have passed away and who have passed away in this last year. I start off with Gabriel Yacoub, French folk musician, leader of the wonderful Malicorne, my favourite French folk band, probably one of my favourite folk bands of all time. But this album is his first album that he did with his wife, Marie Yacoub, called Pierre de Grenoble. This was released just prior to the formation of Malicorne in 1973. Gabriel came out of the Stivell band where he'd spent a couple of years, and you actually get Dan Arbrar of the Stivell band playing guitar on this album. Wonderful musician, sadly missed. Next up, we have Simon House, who, as I say, passed away earlier this year. Simon came to prominence in High Tide, who we did, I think, a couple of albums with, and did an album or two with Third Ear Band, including their soundtrack to Macbeth, before joining Hawkwind in 1974. This was his first album, and probably my second favourite Hawkwind album of all time, Hall of the Mountain Grill. In 1978, he left Hawkwind to join David Bowie's band. I think he appears on the live album Stage, and he did the Lodger album with Bowie. In more recent years, he's played with Hawkwind again live. Brilliant violinist and keyboard player. Another guy we sadly lost this year was George Hoymans of Golden Earring fame. George was a member of Golden Earring from 1961 to 2021. He was only 13 when he formed the band in 1961. He unfortunately had to retire from the band in 2021 when he was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, and the band actually split up at that point. Sadly died this year. This is their live album from 1977, recorded at the Rainbow Theatre. Obviously best known for the superb song Radar Love. George was the main writer of most of their material. Next, one of my favourite musicians, and that is Mike Routledge, obviously famous for his time in Soft Machine. This is the man himself. From 1966 to 1976, he appeared with the band. For me, the heart and soul of the band, my favourite musician that appeared in Soft Machine. I just loved his keyboard playing. And the next one is a bit of an outlier for me, because this is a single, and it's the only thing I have by this band. And the musician that sadly passed away this year is Livio Macchia, and he was the guitarist with the Italian pop band I Camaleonti. I think that's him there. I think he was the main driving force behind the band. He was a member of the band from 1963 up until this year, and they were still performing. Sorry for the glare. Now, I bought this single in Italy in the mid-70s, so it has a bit of a sentimental value for me. At the time, the only Italian rock band I think I knew was PFM, but I picked this up in a marketplace in Italy. It wasn't what I was expecting, because the main track, Perché Ti Amo, Because I Love You, is very much an Italian ballad of that period, pop ballad, and that's what they did for all of their career, basically. But the B-side is called Vado in Bianco, which means, literally, I think means go in white, but it means really to go blank. And I really love that track. I think it's an excellent little track. It's about the only decent thing I've ever heard from them. Apart, I don't think they've done anything else. But I thought I'd show this because and I might leave you with a snippet of Vado in Bianco. So that's my response to Martin's thread. Thank you, Martin, for setting that up, and I hope you get well over 500 subs. You deserve it. So that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and I hope to see you soon.